The film starts in New York, where war has broken out. Eva was watching this from the window when a huge explosion destroyed everything in front of her eyes. Then, someone grabbed her hand and pulled her down towards the basement, where chaos reigned as everyone ran to save their lives. The person holding Eva's hand pulled her into a bunker. A man inside closed the bunker after they entered and sealed it with tape to prevent radiation from harming them. The sounds of people screaming and shouting came from outside. This bunker belonged to Mikey and was built by him. He had anticipated such a disaster. He told the 6 people present that anyone who tried to go outside would be burnt to ashes because the temperature had become extremely high due to the explosion. He also warned that radiation could cause them to become handicapped and crazy. He was still speaking when another massive explosion occurred. The vibrations caused the roof of the basement to collapse. The situation outside was even worse. No one knew how long they would have to stay there. Upon hearing about a long stay, a girl named Wendy panicked and insisted on going out. Mikey then threatened her. Everyone asked what they would do there. Mikey replied that if they wanted to stay alive, they just had to listen to him, as he had been in a similar situation during the war in Nagasaki. Eva and everyone else tried to contact the outside world, but there was no signal on their mobiles. Even if there was a signal, there was probably no one left outside to reply to their messages or calls. There was also a black American man present who had a radio phone. He constantly tried to contact someone outside, but no one ever replied. They spent many days there, and everyone grew bored. Josh and Bobby were the most restless. They decided to break down the door and go out, but Mikey stopped them by threatening to kill them, so they didn't. Josh was tired of the monotonous food and threw his away, which angered Mikey. No one knew how many days they would have to stay there, and food was running low. While they were debating this, they suddenly heard sounds from outside the bunker door. It sounded like someone was trying to break in. Everyone was happy at the thought of finally being able to go out. Breaking through the door, 5 soldiers in protective suits entered. Wearing these suits was necessary to avoid the radiation outside. As soon as they came in, they quickly caught Wendy and injected something into her neck, after which they put Wendy in a bag and started to take her away. Although Wendy's mother tried very hard to save her daughter, all her efforts failed. 2 soldiers took the child away, and the remaining 3 seemed intent on killing everyone else. The people inside the bunker worked together and killed these 3 soldiers first. At this time, Wendy's mother was in a terrible state and desperately wanted to go outside. She immediately got up and tried to open the door by removing the tape, but everyone stopped her and locked her in a room. They knew that if the door remained open for too long, radiation would enter, and they would all die. After resealing the door, when the others came back inside and saw the dead bodies of the 3 soldiers, Mikey said, "I think the UAE has attacked the US, and now they want to destroy the entire population here." The black American man once again tried to contact any survivors outside with his radio phone, but Mikey stopped him. He explained that it was possible the enemies had learned about them because of the radio phone, and that it could still lead them into a trap. He asked him to turn it off, and the man complied. Now, Eva went to Wendy's mother with food and water, as she was very upset about Wendy. Meanwhile, the others outside took off the protective suits from the dead soldiers. 2 suits were damaged, but one was fine. Wearing it, someone could go outside. Eva said she would go outside, find her army contacts, get their help, and return. However, the others were not ready to let Eva go because there was only 1 suit. They suspected she might run away with it. So, they decided to send Josh outside instead, as one of his friends had been shot during the fight with the soldiers and was still with them. They thought Josh would definitely come back to save his friend. He put on the soldier's protective suit, took the soldier's gun, and went out. He saw that tunnels had been created everywhere outside the bunker. He reached a place through one of these tunnels where many people in similar suits were working. It looked like some kind of lab where they were conducting research. Josh started observing what they were doing. He saw children's hair kept in the lab and children held captive inside many capsules. All these children were unconscious, and Wendy was among them. Seeing Wendy, he became emotional and tried to take her out. This action alerted the others, who realized Josh was not one of them. Before they could catch and kill him, Josh ran back towards his bunker. The others chased him, but Josh quickly got inside, and the people in the bunker closed the door. Josh was in terrible shape, very emotional, and crying. He told everyone that there was nothing left outside. People were living in tunnels to protect themselves from radiation, and experiments were being done on children. He then saw Wendy's mother crying and apologized to her for failing to bring Wendy back. He was still talking when they saw someone welding the door of their bunker shut from the outside. Their last hope of escape was now gone. Mikey was worried, not knowing who the people outside were or what they wanted from them. A few more days passed. The dead bodies of the soldiers they had killed were still in the bunker, causing a terrible smell. If they were to survive there, they had to dispose of the bodies. They dug a pit in the bunker itself and buried the dead soldiers. After disposing of the bodies, many of their problems were solved, but with each passing day and week, new issues arose. Now, they had run out of food. They spent many days without any sustenance. Finally, Eva remembered a room in the bunker that only Mikey ever entered, and no one else was allowed inside. One day, all of them secretly attacked Mikey in his room. They thought Mikey must have hidden food there, but there was nothing to eat. There were just many newspaper clippings on one wall, a family photo, and mostly news about the war. They were surprised that Mikey was so interested in the war and why he stayed alone in that room. They were searching the room when Mikey came in and angrily asked what they were doing. Everyone said they had come in search of food. Mikey replied that if he had food, he would definitely share it, just as he had been sharing whatever little they had. He claimed he was also hungry, but no one believed him. They decided that from that day on, they would live in that room with Mikey. Here, we see Wendy's mother becoming very close to Josh to cope with the grief of her daughter's separation. She needed someone, and Josh was helping her. While this was happening, every passing day became more difficult for the rest of the group. The food crisis had troubled them greatly. Then, the black American man made a plan. He had a gun because he was a security officer. He quietly went to Mikey's room alone with the gun and pointed it at him. He had noticed a secret door in Mikey's room and believed there must be food behind it. He might have been right. He forced Mikey to open the door. Mikey then cleverly snatched the gun from his hand and killed him. Eva, who had followed the black American man, saw everything and called everyone else by making noise. Now everyone knew there was food behind the secret door. When they asked Mikey for the code, he refused to tell them. So, they tied Mikey to a chair and began torturing him. Eventually, tired of the torture, Mikey revealed the code to the door, and indeed, there was a lot of food behind it. Now they had almost a month's worth of food supplies. One problem had just been solved when another arose. The radiation they had been exposed to was starting to affect their minds. This filled Josh and his friends with a lot of aggression. They forced everyone else out and took over the supplies room. To satisfy their desires, they abused Wendy's mother. Only one boy among them remained stable, Josh's brother, who had been shot. He was doing well and was helping Eva stay calm. They had kept Mikey tied up until that day. The man who had given them shelter pleaded with Eva to free him. "Trust me," he said. "I was going to tell you about the food, but all that happened before I could." He continued, "If you don't trust me, I'll tell you another secret. I also have a gun in the supplies room. If you want, you can take it. With its help, you'll be able to stop Josh and his friends, and you'll also gain freedom from their control." Eva didn't trust Mikey, but she needed that gun. That's why she joined forces with the man who had brought her to the bunker. They planned for the boy to go to the supply room to get the gun, while Eva distracted Josh and his friend from behind. Inside the room, Josh and his friends had completely lost their minds. They had even cut their hair. They had also killed Wendy's mother and were even using her dead body. When Eva entered, she was terrified by the sight of Wendy's mother. Before Eva could react or leave, she saw Josh heading towards the supply room. She tried to attract Josh's attention to divert him, but as soon as Josh went too far, she pushed him away, which made him very angry. He attacked Eva and tried to force himself on her. Meanwhile, Eva's partner had retrieved the gun and came out. Just as he emerged with the gun, Josh's friend came in front of him, and he pointed the gun at him. Here, Josh was trying to assault Eva, but Josh's brother intervened and saved Eva. At the same time, Eva's other friend confronted Josh's friend with the gun. The gun was still in the boy's hand. Eva fired forcefully to kill Josh, but he flinched. The shot missed Josh and hit his brother instead, killing him instantly. In panic, the gun fell from his hand. Josh's friend quickly attacked this boy, and before he could do anything, Eva picked up the gun and killed the attacker. Here, Josh had gone mad with grief over his brother's death. He got up in anger and killed Eva's other friend, the one who had mistakenly shot his brother. He then wanted to kill Eva too, but Eva ran to Mikey in time and freed him for help. As soon as Mikey was free, he shot at Josh, who was coming towards them. Before dying, Josh set fire to the bunker so that Eva and Mikey would die with him. Now fire was spreading rapidly throughout the bunker. There was no way to escape. Then, Eva remembered that Mikey had once told her about a way out of the bunker through the sewerage. She ran and picked up a protective suit from the bunker, quickly putting it on before Mikey arrived. Eva had already closed the door to the escape route. Mikey kept knocking from outside, but Eva didn't open it. In that moment, Mikey understood his end had come. He remembered his wife and daughter in his final moments. Meanwhile, Eva was shown successfully escaping through the sewerage line. As soon as she came out, she saw a horrifying scene of devastation. There was smoke everywhere, and clouds of pollution filled the sky. The city was completely destroyed, and she didn't even know where to go. The story ends here, showing this utter devastation.